Madam, good afternoon. Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Madam, good afternoon, madam.
Sir, audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible, madam. Just 1 minute, madam, we'll start.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
జేమ ఫోన్ చేసింది. నేను వేరే పోలీసు వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడానే, ఫోన్ చేసింది, బిజీగా 2 సార్లు కట్ చేశా.
Madam, shall we start, madam? Madam, I think you are muted, madam.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, 1 minute. Good afternoon, all the participants. This is Dr. K. Kiran Kumar, Vice Principal and Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. On behalf of Chalapati Institute of Engineering and Technology, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, I welcome all the participants for this webinar on IPR for students and faculty. So first of all, let me introduce the today's resource person, Dr. DJ Samta Naidu. So madam was very close to me. Thank you, madam. First of all, this is the second time we are conducting this webinar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Dr. DJ Samta Naidu is a principal of Annamacharya PG College of Computer Studies and Computer Studies affiliated to JNTU Anantapur from Rajampet. So madam has completed her PhD from Computer Science from Vikramsingapuri University, Nellore. So madam has a very vast experience. And her thesis title is SAMRAM Advisory Model to Prevent Security Attacks and Network Degradation Problems in Wireless Sensor Networks. Madam, areas of interest include data science using R and Python, distributed databases, network security and cryptography, wireless sensor networks, etc. So till now, madam has published 34 journals and attended more than 100 conferences and delivered more than 20 talks, and 3 patents are granted on the name of the madam. And she has received several awards till now, like Teachers Transformation Excellence Award, International Scientist Award, Best Dissertation Award, received Best Teacher Award by Brainovision, etc. Thank you so much, madam, for supporting us each and every time we asked you. Thank you, madam. Over to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. First of all, I am very thankful to your management of CIET, and I honor to be a part of journey of with every day you are conducting extraordinary kind of events, sir. By monthly we have conducting 1 or 2 events. It's a bigger challenge to us, but every day you are conducting one event. So I'm also one of the part. I feel honored to be part of this. Thank you so much for giving
Thank you,
this
madam.
opportunity. And let me start without a delay, sir.
Okay, madam.
Thanks for your valuable introduction to me. I'm very happy to that. Thank you.
Thank
Sir.
you, madam.
Sir, is it visible, sir?
Yes, madam, it is visible.
So good morning, my respected colleague participants of faculty and my dear students. Today we have a little bit of a brief talk on IPR for the students and the faculty. So the IPR is an intellectual property right. So basically it is not limited to the publication or not limited to any product or any other one object. Now, everywhere there is an innovation kind of world we are surviving in our generation. Those students are the stakeholders for the next generation research works. So, I request all the students, you have to have a bright future on research side also. So we are very interested in engineering jobs or software jobs or any other aspects up to after a 1 decade. That means after 4 or 5 years back, we doesn't have this much of progress on IPR. No one know about much knowledge on this. Nowadays, it is in a bigger, wide spreading type of concept. One of the most, what we say, upcoming kind of events or upcoming a type of conferences are much more progress is paying attention on this IPR. So a good idea made by the CIET management to collaboratively expose or spread regarding the research methodologies with IPRs. So I will start my presentation about the research methodology. So before we have a few points regarding the research methodology, then it is easy to understand what is IPR, how the IPR will work. What is the research methodology? What is research? The name itself, it indicating that searching is made already on that. We are refinding the objects of that to get a newer innovations on the existing one. So that is called research. Searching is already made on that. The already finded objects can be researched. Research means we have to endeavor to discover the answers to the intellectual practical problems by applying some scientific methodologies or the applications of the systematical efforts can be gained to apply the new knowledge on different types of innovations. Right? And is I'm audible, sir?
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Okay. what is the objectives of the research? The major objective is to gain the familiarity with, achieve new insights into it, which can have some particular type of researchers are there. Few members can identify their own ideas can be implemented to get a solution. And few members have already which is invented by someone, how far it is better than the existing one. That such ideas also be discussed in the research. In a research group, there is a descriptive research is there, exploratory or formulative research groups are there, and diagnostic research also we can see. In exploratory or formulated research, the accurate of the characteristics can be mentioned to gain the familiarity with a phenomenon such as in a new inserts into it. So that is called exploratory or formulative research. So where the accurate type of results you have to be get in a situation or in a group, that is called descriptive research. To determine the frequencies which something occurs, which can be tested by the hypothesis causal relationships, or sometimes we have to mention some basic type of conditionals applied on diagnostic research. So 4 types of research we are discussing: exploratory, descriptive, diagnostic, and hypothesis testing based research works. What is the basic characteristics of a research? So if you want to find any solution to a particular problem, we have to use this research work should be done by the exploratory or not. That means the research which directs you towards the solution of the problem in right way or wrong way. So depending upon your situations, depending upon the alternative feasibility techniques which you have applies on that particular problem. If you want to provide any solution, you need not to be give a solution in the form of methodology. So we can give a solution with the best of alternative research techniques we have to implement. So research is based on observable experience, and research demands accurate observation and as well as the descriptions of the things. And the research involves gathering the new kind of data from the primary resources, and that existing data will be provides you a new purpose of the object. And research activities are characterized by carefully the procedures, and research requires the expertise which is skill necessary to the investigation. Why we need to investigate? Investigation means we need to find the possibilities of the given data. What is the criteria for a good research? So first of all, whatever the problem it may be, you need to clearly define that. What is the problem? First, you need to narrate the problem very clearly. Then you have to perform some research process details. And the research design should be measured by applying the research methodologies. So the research design thoroughly planned based on the research methodology, where we can know that how the research workflows can be goes on, how you are going to be solve that problem, or the step-by-step procedure that you are going to be solve the problem which is difficult. And the high ethical standards can be applied to approach the different research works. And the limitations also be revealed when you are providing the conclusion along with the future enhancement should be there for every research work. If you are not providing the future enhancement, there is no use for the product in sustainable manner. So every innovation should be done in sustainable way. And the adequate analysis for decision makers should be needs a great kind of note should be paid by the researcher. If your decision is wrong in any part of one product developed, the entire product will goes in wrong. If design fails, the product should be fails 100%. So adequate analysis of literature survey papers are very much useful to us to take a right decision at a right time. So findings presents sometimes confusions, imaginations, and it may be give some wrong results also. We need to be find out. For example, 2 plus 3, how much? Can anyone? 2 plus 3, how much? The answer is 5. The 5, how we are saying that 2 is a value, 3 is a value. We are using one logical operator, that is plus. 2 plus 3, automatically we are getting the 5. If the system displays that after completion of your program, you are written a code in C, C++, Java, Python, or anyone, if you are getting the result as 2 plus 3 is equal to 6, is it correct? No. 2 plus 3 equal to 4. Is it correct? No. Why? Our brain can calculate it formulatively and provides a right decision as 2 plus 3 is 5, not 4, not 6. So in the same way, the finding presented results sometimes leads that inadequate type of results, but we have to know the final output up to the mark it is reached or not. That should be responsible for any researcher. Once you are researched, I get on this result 99.8, 96.57. Some accurate we are giving the results of that. How we are predicating that results means by applying some mathematical tools, we are applying some standard statistical based formulas we are using, descriptive type of formulas we are using, we are getting the results. So once your result is correct, automatically the given inputs are correct, processed correctly, and we are getting right output. Right? What is the research ethics? In effective literature study approaches, we introduce the literature review by point, and the major topic that will be discussed with the identified the broad problems which can have some history of the educations of the given instructional study. Suppose you are taken one government policy regarding the literature survey. For example, I'm considering Amma-Odi concept. So I want to put a annual report on that. Then I want to take that previously the government, how many number of students are eligible to get that Amma-Odi scheme, and now how many students are there still eligible, they have to get such type of instructional strategies. We can have the previous history we have to consider, the present history we have to consider, and future based of plans we need to be take by taking the step 1 and step 2. So discuss the general importance of your topic for those in your scene. And don't attempt to cover everything written on your topic. We have written something in a paper and we are trying to implement all the things in that paper. Don't try that much. You need to concentrate any single point of your problem and you provide one single solution for that, not 2 or 3 or 4 or much more. Not required. You will need to pick out the research most relevant to the studying, only studying. The perspective type of studying is there, reactive based of studying is there. The prospective based study always depends on the past events which you are done by your own study base. And proactive type of one which can have the research work, the else person, that means more the before somebody is done that work, same work. Suppose I introduced some pencil. The pencil, if I make any buttons here, if I click on the first button, it becomes as a pencil. If I click on second button, it becomes as a pen. If I press the third button, it becomes as a marker. So pencil is already innovated by somebody, not by me. It's not my property, somebody's property. But I am innovatively given 3 steps. The first one, it acts as a pencil. Second one, it acts as a pen or marker. Third one, it acts as a lighter. So 3 innovative steps that could not be introduced elsewhere. So I am the first person introduced this. So this is already introduced by someone. Now the extension future work done by me, so I can go for the IPR. This is my own idea. It is my own kind of innovation. So that's why I is the owner of this. Such kind of copyright on your innovations is most essential now. Each and every one is copying easily the text, message, or journals. They are faking the journals also by changing the titles, by changing the names. The remaining things will be as usual. It is going on to avoid such complexities. They are using this, right? And the research that not explains the relationship between these variables on the top priority. And we need to explain how you will structure your literature related plan. Either it may be written plan or it may be executable plan. And what is the effective literature studies approach? So topical order, chronological order, problem case solution order, 3 different types of orders that we can follow for effective literature study approaches. The first one is topical order, which organized by main topics or issues. It emphasizes the relationships of the issues to the main problem. I need to prescribe all the relevant type of things. So for example, I have planned to visit some place where it is in a tourist area. So suppose I want to visit Vizag beach. I want to go and enjoy in Vizag beach, Rishkonda beach. I need to go. So I am residing in Rajampeta. What are the possibilities are there? I can own my own car and I can start my travel. It takes more than 10 to 12 hours of time. Assume that. In that period, I can start the next alternative. There is a bus facility. It takes 18 hours. And next I can go for the train. It takes 2 days. Assume that. That means it takes more than 20 hours or 22 hours. Assume that. If I go for by flight, I can go within 2 hours. Which is the best solution? Here, I need to enjoy in that particular place based on my financial criteria. I can go for flight or bus or car or train. For example, you want to attend an interview at morning 7:30 p.m. Sorry, morning 7:30 a.m. So how you can reach? You get an information by 4 p.m. evening. So there is no bus facility in train facility, then we give preference to the flight, not for bus, car or train, even though they are the solutions. In that situation, even though they are the suitable, but it is not a correct decision. So if you travel by the train, you add 24 hours time, then nearly the interview will be completed. In bus also, in car also. So the best optimal solution is traveling through flights. So that is called topical order. We need to write the main topics of the issues. First, we need to concentrate on that particular point, which is major issue, which is minor issue. The minor issue, sometimes it is a negligible. Sometimes it may be considerable one. Right? So chronological order, organize the literature by the dates the research was published. So in 2001, what are the papers published? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 21st, we have to collect the papers. Need to get one solution. What is the problem? What solution they have made? To write it down in a one book. It's a better and best practice to the researchers. It is easy to identify that which author given what kind of problem they have concentrated and how they have to be rectified that particular problem. So organize the literature by the dates the research were published and the reports of research organizations are saying like this. You concentrate on much more 4 to 5 years back literature survey only you need to consider, not that much. If you want to consider 2001 papers also, for the sake of concept understand, not for the implementation. And research cause solution order, organize the review so that we can easily remember, and sometimes we have a general to specify order, we call it as a final approach, and try to make the specific research studies on conclusions which can be drawn by the first best kind of approaches. After reviewing literature, summarizes what has to be do and has not to be done, what needs to be done. These 3 points we need to take into consideration. And remember one thing, you are arguing your point of why you are studying that particular point is very, very important. And review doesn't logically organized, and review isn't focused on most facts of the study are not, you need to observe clearly. And the review doesn't relate any literature to the study or not, that also you need to consider first. And too few references or outdated references should be cited. And review isn't written in author's own words or not, we need to consider. And review reads like a series of disjoint summaries. And review does not argue a point in a certain kind of moment. And recent references are omitted. That means the back benches of the bleachers, sentences, methodologies, techniques, we couldn't be used. And now the topic we discuss, what is IPR in research methodology? I hope a little bit, it is an ocean, we can take 5 hours of time in research methodology. But just for the concept oriental, I have explained few things only on that. What is IPR? Intellectual property rights, which refers to the legal rights given to the inventor or created to protect his innovation or creation for the period of time where they can have. The legal right confers an exclusive right given by the inventor to fully utilize his inventions for the given period only and the authorized one only, not all the members. And we have brief in the history of the IPR. The laws and administrative procedures which can be related to the IPR, the first roots are developed in the country of Europe. And the patent work started in the 14th century. And the comparisons to the other European countries, some matters of England was technologically advanced than us and others, and attracts the attentions from elsewhere on some special terms based. The first known copyright which is appeared in the Italy, and the Venice can be considered the cradle of IP system, as most legal thinking was done here, and the laws systems were made here for the first of the world, and other countries followed in the due course. And the Patent Act in India is more than 150 years old kind of one. The inauguration of this made by 1856 Act, which is based on the British patent system and provided the patent terms of 14 years followed by the numerous addends. And this is the intellectual property rights flow chart. This such a methodology way we can have how the properties can be distinguished. The first one is the basically the properties are two types: tangible one, intangible one. Tangible again two types. One is movable, another one is unmovable. The movable things can have the property right. We are what we say, the car is insured by us. So it is a movable, tangible property, and building is immovable, tangible property. Even though that we can rent it, we can give some lease, and we have to provide some license periodic type of acts also there to protect the movable or immovable properties. Intangible one, it is an intellectual property one where it designed especially for the industry property related or sometimes copyright related. The industry property related one can introduce in the form of patents, designs, trademarks, and geographical indicators simply known as GIS. Right? So the patent and how the design and trademarks or geographical indicators can be done, we will see. The intellectual property rights can be designed in this way. There, the copyrights gives us a legal protection from the given articles, given innovation ideas. And the trademarks will be given with respect to the geographical environment. The exclusive rights given to the person over the creation of their minds for certain period of time only. And the legal right, intangible potential assets or monopoly, we say that the negative rights, that is, it prevents other to use his or her creation for a definite time, that also a legal crime. And the intellectual property right were essential to recognize, accepted all over the world due to some very important reasons. to provide an incentive to individuals for new creations and to occur due to recognition to the creators and the inventors and ensure material reward for the intellectual property and to make available genuine and original one. So these aspects that can be allows you to purchase. The first one, the patents, can be applicable for products, process, materials, and compositions. Products, processes, materials, and compositions, and technical solution to a technical problems. These kind of category research works will becomes as an IPR in the form of patents. Industrial designs also there. What is the industrial design? The extensional future uplink to the eyes or new shapes, patterns, or configuration of the existing products will come under the industrial design. What is the trademarks? The next one is trademarks. A visible symbol such as a word, name, symbol, label, logo, monogram, slogan, etc. and they are applied on articles in manufacture or services or indicates the origin of the grants and services. These all comes under the trademarks. And copyright, it is an artistic, literacy, musical, and dramatic creations, and property rights are comes into existing as soon as the work is created. And the geographical indications of identifying the agriculture needs and natural manufactured one kind of things or origins from a definite territory in India, and the process special quality or regional based geographical locations we known as geographical indication IPRs. What are the types of intellectual properties that can be known? So originally, we have a different kinds of properties that we have already seen, but the control generally any organization in a with respect to the industrial property that we say that the patent which we are presented in the form of organizations, we have to structure Ministry of Commerce and illustrations or Department of Industrials and Promotions like that. The hierarchy will be starts, and next one is controls, general of patents, designs, time of innovation, trademarks, etc. And the patents of design office, what they have done first. The patent and design offices in India available in Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai, and Kolkata. And trademarks and registry will be done in Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Delhi, and Ahmedabad. And the geographical indicators only available in Chennai. And the patent information system will be have in a Nagpur. It is available. And the patent office in Mumbai that allows you to register your intellectual properties based on the criteria. It provides a mechanism to handle the previous unauthorized type of information with the present one. And we have some maximum kind of things that we can performed to provide the pool of information to the general public, since we have an IPR with an exempted cases of trade secrets. So what are the intellectual property rights when we include their effects? Generally, that the patents and industrial designs or trademarks, copyright, geographical indicators, whatever it may be, they may be have any feature of these shapes related to the configurations or materials, audio tapes, or any characteristics that can be leased to the good essential attributed type of geographical designs of that origin can be followed. The following would not qualify as a patent. An innovation which is frivolous or which claims anything wrong and contradictory, or the well-established natural laws, an invention the public intended to use which would be contrary to law or monetary or in public health. For example, penicillin is already introduced by somebody. And if I take a copyright on that, I have introduced. Whether it is possible, it is true or false. It is true or false. Yes, it is true or false. Penicillin injection introduced by Samadha Naidu. Is it true or false? I hope all the members are sleeping. Is it right?
No, madam, all are listening.
Sir, they are not answering, sir. That's why I'm asking. Penicillin
Some-
injection is introduced by Samadha Naidu, madam. No, yes, nobody is here. Answering.
Some are giving reply, madam, as false.
Okay, okay. So the natural law, we know that it is not introduced by Samatha madam. But if I applied for that, if the penicillin original inventor is not having the property IPR register or patent registration, then proper registration is not done, then then inventory will be mine. If I go for property registration, that is the goodness of this, and that is the worstness of also. Who is introduced, who invented, it is not the criteria. If you register in time, in your innovations, you may have the identification, you may have the recognition of that particular property, or else cannot be performed. So a discovery, a scientific theory, or a mathematical model, any one of these we can introduce. A mere discovery of a new property or a new use of known one or a known process or known machine or apparatus of the known process results, new products or implies at least rectangular type of abstentions properties, admixtures resulting of aggregation of the properties or components of the producing substances. These are all comes under the disqualification of patents. A mere arrangements or rearrangements or duplications of the devices, each functioning independently of one to another, and it is own, it may be get some legal approaches. A method of agriculture or horticulture you can implement, but you need to know what is the agriculture, what is the horticulture. That is very important. Any process of the medical, surgical, creative process, diagnostics, therapeutic, or other treatments of human being, process for the similar treatment of animals to render them to increase their income value or that of their property. An innovation relating to the atomic research or atomic energy. An innovation which is in effect, which is a traditional knowledge that also be considerable. And what is a license? If you own a car or a motorcycle, students, some scooties, definitely we have we have to require the license. What is the meaning of license? It is a contract by which licensor who is the authorized the license perform certain activities and they are the expert in that particular device and which would otherwise we have an unlawful. For example, in a patent license, the patentee has to authorize the licensee to exercise the defined rights over the patent, which affects to give the licensee a right to do that what he otherwise be prohibited from doing. A license makes law, otherwise it would be unlawful. And some examples of known how it can be. Technical information such as formulae, techniques, and open procedures sometimes we have to take. And the commercial information such as customer list and sales data, marketing, professional and management procedures we have to take. And what are the benefits to the licensor? It is they open new markets and creates new areas for the revenue generation purpose and helps to the challenges which are establishing challenges to the technical different markets, especially to the foreign countries, low cost and savings of the distribution and the marketing expenses also included in the license fees. And the savings on the research and developments and elimination of the risk associated with the R&D and a quick exploitation of the market requirements before the market wins and ensures that the products are the latest. The role of Patent Cooperation Treaty. The Patent Cooperation Treaty is called PCT. It is a multilateral treaty which is forced in 1978 onwards. An inventor of a member can contracting the state of PCT can simultaneously obtain the priority for the invention in all over the members which are who are presented in countries and without having a separate application in the countries of interest. By getting this PCT application, all activities related to the coordinated by the World Intellectual Property Organization situated in Geneva. In order to protect the inventions, we have we have to move towards the filing the files or filing the fees, translations, attorney charges. In addition to that, we have to notify the short time available for the decision on whether to file a patent application or not, which can be well-founded information. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism using another writer's words without proper citation. So nowadays, most of the members doesn't know how to write an article. What is the difference between an article, journal, or a conference paper? All are being one thing. I know the research. How we can say that we are the familiar in research work? When you have no one have a perfect knowledge on research. It's a ocean. Can we measure the ocean water? వైజాగ్ బీచ్ లో కానీ ఎక్కడైనా బీచ్ లో ఎంత వాటర్ ఉంది ఎలా మెజర్ చేస్తాం? హౌ యూ కెన్ మెజర్? How we can measure? Shall we try on that? Sorry, madam, it's not our duty. We just want to come to listen your webinar. No questions asked. So citing a source but reproducing the exact word without the quick marks and borrowing the structure of the another author's phrases, sentences without giving the sources. If you have considering one phase, suppose I have used somebody's PPT, I need to mention at last, I have taken the source from these members, then no issues will become. without proper citation, if you are using your PPT, definitely you are punishable. Borrowing all of part of another student paper also not a good practice. How many types of plagiarism checkings are going on? Copying is the most well-known. Sadly, the most common plagiarism is very simplest. Copy. If you copy someone else and put your name on it, and you have plagiarized. This one is pretty straightforward. If a writer copies word from the text from the doctor, some author illustrated textbooks or which does not acknowledge why that is was done by that particular work, and the writer has a committed plagiarism. If you have written a computer networks concept and you need to mention the Tenenbaum textbook author name, computer networks author name we have to be mentioned, otherwise it is plagiarized. Paraphrasing plagiarism. What is the paraphrasing plagiarism means? When the plagiarizer paraphrases or summarizes work without citing the source, if even they changing the words also, by applying the synonyms, they are writing their own paper. Suppose movable objects are comes under the IPR. IPR, one of the part is movable. We can rearrange the sentence. We can rephrase the paragraph. Sometimes we can use some synonym words exactly which means that. That is also going on in plagiarism. Unintentionally, sometimes we have to be false. Sometimes intentionally also it is false. Even though that correct quotes are incorrect quotes are correct source or incorrect source are sources which cannot be mentioned in your bibliography references, that also becomes under the plagiarism. What is the good technical writing on the paper? The varies by the audience. It considers the reader and how builds good writing maintains the constant and good style. And the good technical writing skills which can be impact on the visual impacts of that. And half truths about the style, the write as you talk, never use I introduced, I wrote, I implemented, I introduced, I technique, this technique introduced by me. We never use such kind of words. Never begin a sentence with an or but. So, the most commonly phrases can go logistically and replicably, or but you cannot be either. It may be like that. That are the conjunctive type of sentence we cannot be using middle of the papers, or we cannot use beginning of the sentence, and never end a sentence with a prepositions. And big words impress the people, so you cannot be. And a grant of a property right to the inventor that will be issued by the patent and a trademark officer. And term of new patent is 20 years from the date on which the applicants of patent filed in the United States. In our India, the lifetime period of any patent is 5 years. As patent, US patent grants are effectively only with the US territories and possessions. And the right to exclude others from the making, use of the offering of the selling the invitations, and right times to discuss, to sell or import, or to exclude others from the offering the sale or selling the importing of the other innovations. The scope of patent rights, the Patents Act 1970, it is introduced, and the product patent are available. Patent terms is 20 years. Public health safeguard related patents having the lifetime validity. And the Trademarks Act introduced in the year of 1999, and it makes the services marks and collective marks. and the term increased from 7 years to 10 years. The license transforming technology, the Designs Acts to 2000, excuse me, the GI Act is 1999 and the Copyright Act introduced in the year of 1957 and the Biodiversity Act introduced in the year of 2001 and the Layouts and Integrated Circuit Acts started in the year of 2001 itself. Thank you. I hope we have touched on research methodologies, their characteristics, objectives, how to write a good paper, and what is the ethics of the research works, what is the IPR based informations, and as well as we have an exclusive type of patent rules and acts, how the application patent acts will be referable, and the better understanding of the acted rule draft manual of patent practice and procedures. We call it as an MPPP. So MPPP, it is introduced in the year of 2008 and made by the Patent Office and granted by the Government of India, that monopoly of grants regarding the patents, and for you can do your innovation purpose or it can be assignee also. And the industrial designs we can be have, it can be applicable for jewelry designs, some art or some car designs, or sometimes some shoe models, or sometimes clothing, that means fashionable, wearable kind of ones. These are all comes under the, which are eye-based manipulations that can be performed. So what is the Patent Act or other act of the rules that can be measurable, means criteria of the potentiality, that should be a novelty one, and innovative step, or it must be a non obvious one, and capable of the industry application also be we have to introduce, and not fall within the provision of the section 3 and section 4 of the Patent Acts of 1970. And what says the Patent Act of 1970 means, the section 3 gives a brief idea regarding that fabulous or obvious works cannot be copied, contrary to well established natural laws will be there, and injurious to the public health if it is a more arrangements or rearrangements are happening in the same products, and discovery of scientific principle, discovery of living things or non-living things, substances in the nature, method of agriculture or horticulture of the things, and the section 4 Patent Act 1970 illustrate atomic energy related patents only registered. That means the Patent Act 1970 can register anything, but the section 4 only reserved for atomic energy related. So this way we can have any trademarks, logos, your company logos, these are all. If you have get the patent on that or copyright on that, such designs we call it as a trademarks. Such designs we call it as a trademarks. For example, TV9 and the TV9 is a channel which is only a property of somebody else. I cannot use TV9 as my product, right? IBM, Toyota, Nokia, Walmart, CNN, UPS, BBC channels, NTV channels, Mobile, Puma, Pepsi, Honda, Coca-Cola, Yahoo, Gmail. These are all the comes under trademarks, right? The copyrights, you can novelty things, your own poetry, or your own place, or your own referenceable works, newspapers, articles can be measured and given a summarized type of chapters. This all comes under the copyright. And a geographical indicator act, it can be used as some indications of the landmarks. Nagpur orange is a famous. Banganapalli, mangoes, the Darjeeling tea, basmati rice, Kanchipuram silk sarees, Kolhapuri chappal, and Bigneri Bhuja, Agra Peta, and famous for Tirupati, Tirumala Laddu. These are all comes under geographical indicators. The laddu is familiar, available, or tasty than this is available worldwide. But the place, Tirumala is a holistic place. The place leading the importance of that particular laddu, right? So it giving a spiritual kind of attention on that. Laddu man tinochu, ekkadaina padeyochu. Nobody will take a risk to throw the prasad. So that is the beauty of the geographical indication, right? And I hope I reach all the members. We have in a session 3 to 4. So I have taken your time as per given by the opportunity by the CIT. And I'm very thankful to Kiran sir. Every time you are giving one chance for me to share our knowledge or tune our knowledge ourselves. And it's a pleasure, honor to be part of you. And I'm very thankful to you, sir.
Thank you,
Every
madam.
time your support is going on. And whether it is the time or not, I don't know. But I want to appreciate the CIET students. You are doing very good job, Amma. You are donating coolers, you are donating some products or medicines, groceries, food and cloths also. Very innovative programs are doing by the CIT. If any God permits us, any offline session, I want to visit your college once. Why? Because I need to personally appreciate the students. The faculty members, even though directs you, but you have to motivate. So that is the great part of your college. Your college is one of the best college in my opinion in AP. I am a speaker of not only for Andhra. I'm Andhra, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and few North Indian universities also. We have conducted so many research talks. But when I feel CIT program, I feel it's my college program. I feel honored to say this word for the CIT because of your hard work, determination towards the progress of your college development. And I personally congratulate the vice principal and head of the department of our sir and brother Kiran Garu. You are doing very great job, sir.
Thank you
It's
so
not
much.
a joke to conduct an events, this much of events. It's a highly appreciable. You are doing very hard work, sir. I'm very appreciable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. So participants, if you have any doubts, you can ask ma'am. You can type in the chat box or either you can raise your hand so that I can unmute you. And also feedback form is posted in the chat box. You can fill it. So maybe no doubts, madam. Your explanation is wonderful. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you,
Again and
sir.
again, when I ask you, you are accepting my request and you are coming as a resource person.
Sir, feeling happy, sir. You can ask us offline or online, any mode. We will be associate with you. We feel
Sure,
happy. Okay, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
madam.
much, sir. Shall I leave, sir?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Thank you, madam. So all the participants, please fill the feedback form, and who has filled the feedback form can leave now. Thank you. Feedback form is there in the chat box of the Zoom as well as in the YouTube. Those who have filled the feedback form can leave now. Thank you. You will receive the certificates within 2 days.